I'll mute it. You think I wouldn't have had an ad on mine?
Anyway.
Yeah, we're here. Kaiserreich, play.
Hey, it's yours as well. Go ahead.
It is not mine. There, intro's yours. You do the intro.
Ah, hello there,
No screaming.
Hello there, comrade.
Also, turn that shit down. You're gonna deafen people with earphones.
Hello, comrades, and welcome back to the Second American Revolution.
I apologize for his screaming. He's abnormally excited today.
I'm abnormally excited every day.
True.
Yes. Welcome, comrades, to the Second American Revolution.
Yeah, we gotta be careful though. The Feddies have fielded a new mobile weapon. They're calling it the Gundam.
If only.
No, we are not playing the 1 year war mod.
I mean, I am not opposed to eventually doing that, but I feel like the 1 year war mod definitely is showing its age and the fact that it hasn't been...
you'd have to, you know, load to an older version of the game. Anyway, he's sending his units to be rude.
I am indeed.
Because war were declared.
War was indeed declared.
Move out!
And we're going to try and seize as much territory as we can, as quickly as we can.
I'm good, thanks for asking, Kurgan.
How
are you?
While also pinning down as much of the Feddies as I can. They have made the very poor decision to try and defend everything, so I do not like their chances. These guys, if all goes well, will sweep right around back and seize Washington behind them.
Move out!
Ah, reach around.
Yes.
It's a good Autobot name. Reach around.
Attention!
I will laugh if that is actually the name of
Move
an
out!
Autobot.
It is not. It is the name of an Autobot in this one, skit by the guy who did the Hatsune Miku one. Where, you know, she took over Soundwave
Move out!
and compromised all the Decepticons' computers.
Move out!
Yes, indeed.
No, he's not. I mean, yes, he is, but, like, this is an alternate timeline. He's playing the Kaiserreich mod. You weren't here for the first part of it, so, explain the lore of Kaiserreich again.
Alright, basically, this is a world...
Quieter, though.
This is a world where Germany won the First World War. The U.S. has been in a depression since
1907?
Since the 1920s. And FDR died from polio. Britain and France have had syndicalist revolutions, so the royal family is hanging out up here in Canada. And the U.S. has now broken out into a four-way civil war between me, the Combined Syndicates of America, basically the commie revolutionaries, the American Caesar, Douglas MacArthur, leading what's left of the federal government, the fascists under Huey P. Long, and the Pacific states. Basically, they are of the opinion that Reed, Long, and MacArthur are all warlords who have no shred of legitimacy and claim to be the true the last true bastion of democracy. The only faction I have never won this war with is the Pacific States, because they just start out with so little manpower, it is very hard.
That would be crazy. There is a 1 year war mod, though. So it wouldn't be the Gundam at this point in time, but it would be the Gundam on this particular map.
Yes. And a bunch of other syndicalist nations are deciding they like the cut of my jib, so they're sending me volunteers. That's a thing you can do in this game. If two other guys are having a war, and you don't want to directly intervene, you can send some of your army as volunteers.
Oh, I heard an airplane.
Ah, I've already broken their line in at least one location.
Ready, sir.
I thought it happened in at least 2. Ooh, that guy can be encircled.
Listen up.
He can, and he will be.
Unlucky for him.
Commands.
And it looks like I'm going to march right into Washington.
All in.
That was quick.
Listen up. Move out.
I'm trying to advance cautiously here because if I overextend, I will get
Censored.
Yeah, I really do not want them to take New York City from behind me. The next unit that I'm going to raise is going to come out of New York, and I'm going to deploy them up here to basically overrun New England. Was kind of hoping what usually happens would happen, which is that the Canadians occupy New England. Because that would have removed the front from me to deal with.
But that does not appear to be happening.
No, it does not.
Commands. Yes, sir.
Oh, if he gets to where you sent him, that's 2 whole units getting encircled.
It is. They'd also like to send me supplies. The problem with the volunteer units, they are going to be welcome, but
They're going to do their own damn thing.
yes, I cannot direct them.
And they may do a
Yes,
stupid.
sir.
Yes. Like,
Move out.
do not depend on them to hold a line. They will disappoint if you depend on them for that. Ah, someone stop it.
Listen up.
No.
But
But
their
Yes, sir.
supplement.
be careful, I see a spot where one of your guys could get encircled.
Where?
Zoom out. Lower left.
Oh, right here?
No, see that red bit? Yeah, that. That guy could get encircled.
Not as long as this combat is continuing.
Under
Oh, okay.
fire.
In fact,
Yeah, see that bit of blue that's just completely encircled there?
if I defeat the that unit, those guys will just be gone.
But yeah, that's an encirclement.
And I have just
Attention.
overrun that part of the front.
Neat. And the volunteers have arrived.
They have indeed.
Under fire.
Hitting those guys down.
Under fire.
You back.
Yeah, this is basically the second American Civil War.
It is not basically, it is actually.
Yes, sir. Move out. Move out.
Hooray for navies. Especially giant navies. Yeah, Kurgan's making a giant navy in his
Ah!
mobile game thingy.
Now, New York City. And those guys will go to guard this front. Because right now, if
Listen up.
the Feddies get a massive army up in
Yes,
New
sir.
England, they could attack me from behind.
Attention.
And that would be pretty bad.
It would not be pretty bad, it would be very bad. It would be no es bueno.
Orders. Commands.
Especially since I just found my first Feddies.
Ready, sir.
Ooh, neat.
in New England.
Ready to move. Ready to move.
They're ready to move, apparently.
Yes, sir. Ready. All in. Yes, sir. Come on, move out.
Are you retreating that guy?
Oh yeah.
Don't want bad things to happen to him, after all.
No, I do not.
The Mach League declared war on Tibet.
Attention.
I said the Tibet word. Now Chinese people can't watch this.
I know, right? Are you proud of yourself?
A little bit.
Move out.
It's not exactly difficult to make it so that Chinese people can't watch something. All you have to do is mention either one or two actually 3 different words starting with T can...
Ah, dang, I skipped that. Shouldn't have done that.
Oh,
Boston
man.
fell.
Oh no. But yeah, if you've got... There are 3 separate words starting with T that can make something unwatchable for the Chinese, so, you know, not exactly that difficult. Taiwan, Tiananmen Square, and Tibet. Specifically an
Ready to
event
move.
that happened in, I believe it was the 1980s in Tiananmen Square.
Yes.
Forget which year in the 1980s specifically. Can you specify and make it even less viewable for the Chinese?
A
Listen up.
pro-democracy protest.
Ready to move.
And when?
In the 1980s sometime. I'm not sure on the year.
You don't remember what year either. Okay.
I'm actually very bad at remembering specific years.
Makes sense. We're both autistic.
Orders.
Go ahead. Ask us to remember a certain number. We will forget it in 2 seconds. Guaranteed.
Advance. All in.
That doesn't even need it at all.
Advance.
Oh, but he does.
Yeah.
Move out.
Oh, and the Feddies are hosed. You see here, I have now cut off basically everything west of this line. The Feddies have just gotten cut off. And should the capital, and should Washington actually fall,
Attention. Attention. Move out. Listen up. All in. Attention.
it will likely, if should the capital actually fall, it will likely move to Denver, which means that all of these troops will suddenly be out of supply. Also, another thing that I like in this game, let's see if I can bring it up. Ah, that would be a plan indeed. You see these? These are rail lines. if you can get your men,
Orders.
for example, if I can get here, I will cut this rail line, and then everyone who is past that point in the rail network will not be able to be supplied. These guys right here currently have no ability to supply themselves because I have cut all rail connection.
Yep, yeah, it took a big
Listen
pair of
up.
clippers to their railroads. Or maybe a comically large saw.
But if I take this territory, a lot of railroads get cut.
Neat. Look at that border war.
Oh yes, don't worry, I'm doing something about it. In 12 days, the New York City red militias will pop up, and then I'll be able to do even more about it.
Ready to move. Attention. Ready, sir. Attention. Attention.
They want you to pay attention.
Indeed.
Attention.
Attention, they say.
Move out. Attention. Ready. Ready to move. Move out.
And now I'm about to cut off Louisville.
Fall in.
Democracy prevails in the Philippines. Nothing having just achieved independence in the United States, the Philippines face today perhaps one of the most serious challenges any new country could face. Inspired by the combined syndicates of America and the Baratia Commune, disgruntled army officers marched down Manila to support rebelling peasants and workers. Their attempt was quickly thwarted by as loyalists. Units in the army reaffirmed their support for and intervened in favor of the legitimate democratic Filipino government, and drove the rebellious army out of the capital, ending the threat of syndicalist coup before it could even hatch. One day, they shall join the fold.
Womp womp.
But unfortunately, it is not this day.
Ready to move.
Directive 10. Redistribution of material assets. Now that the
You might want to pause the battle while you're reading.
I'm
that.
trying. Usually you press spacebar and it pauses, and that wasn't working.
Yeah, that sometimes takes a couple seconds to remember that you're using it. Are you gonna read the thing?
Now that the revolution has begun, we must decide what should be done to the bourgeoisie. The IWW proclaimed we confiscate all their wealth and redistribute it to the people immediately. The up-and-coming vanguard has called for their immediate arrest and execution as well, citing the fate of Vladimir Lenin as an example of a revolution defeated by leniency. SPA members belonging to the depreciated AFL, along with several loyal progressives, have sought life over death, asking the Central Committee to only appropriate what is necessary for war and keep their materialist constituents happy. Their wealth and their lives are ours. that political power.
Ready to move.
What witch are you speaking of? Are we burning the witch?
No, unfortunately, we're not burning the witch. As fun as that would
Yes,
probably be.
Burn the witch!
Directive 984, sentencing of pre-war capitalist politicians. As the revolution nears success, the people demand that we deal with the corrupt capitalist politicians in office before the revolution, who now rot in ourselves. Some believe that by having these politicians work hard labor for a few years, they will empathize with the worker and be converted to our cause. Others believe that no amount of education can reform them, and they must remain behind bars for the rest of their lives. A small but vocal minority insist that they must be executed for their crimes, like the Romanovs or the Bourbon dynasties of old. They shall be redeemed by the sweat on their brows and the ache of their backs.
Ready to move.
Ooh!
Ready.
Nice! Let's hope that sooner rather than later. That'd be fun.
Commands.
The CIA might be getting a new computer, it sounds like.
That would be nice.
Commands.
Ah,
Yes, sir.
Huh? Ah.
the Vetties have
Move out.
abandoned New England.
Move out.
Oh, time to gobble up New England.
Indeed.
I'd say for breakfast, but it's 10 p.m. it looks like. Oh, now it's, oh, it's military time. Oh, it's global
Ready, sir.
time.
Move out.
Ah. Oh. At least it'll almost certainly be better than what you already have.
Listen up. Move out. Move out.
Ah, 2 more pockets. Here and in Louisville.
That's a good bunch of their dudes you got. Who's it? Oh, one of the pockets just opened up. You got pocketed.
No, I didn't. It just looks like it did.
Oh, okay. Hey, got a thin line there. Hey, maybe we'll be able to do that co-op play of
Orders.
Sonic Racing Transformed.
Move out. Ready to move. Commands.
That didn't work.
Listen up. Ready.
I'm literally just racing around over here. Let's see. How many days? 3 days and the New York regiments pop out.
Attention.
Order restored in Connecticut,
Yay! Order restored!
which means it is now a core state. Over the past week, syndicalist government forces have been busy in Connecticut, arresting those who feel would prove a hindrance to our control, and helping our local supporters spreading the good word amongst the people. We want to reassure them that as American citizens, they have no reason to fear our presence. Our efforts have slowly begun to bear fruit, even in the midst of all this chaos. Excellent news. The Panama Canal Crisis. Finished in 1914, the Panama Canal is one of the most important trade passageways on the American continent. Controlled by the United States until now, with the outbreak of the Second American Civil War, the federal government was forced to withdraw the canal's marine forces, leaving it open to invasion. And to little surprise, Panamanian troops launched the operation to take back such a valuable area. This move, however, was opposed by Canada, which presented to them an ultimatum. Panama would immediately cease their invasion, while the Entente would safeguard the canal for the time being. In the face of Canadian pressure, the small Latin American nation had backed down, diffusing the crisis. So basically, Canada just forced Panama to let it occupy the canal.
How rude. And again, we did that canonically, so we have no place to... Wait. But that wasn't during our lifetime when we insisted upon that, so we can't be held responsible!
Also, that's only partially correct.
Move out!
What actually happened is not so much that we did that, is that the nation of Panama exists because we wanted a canal.
Oh. Well, that's a thing.
We literally backed some Panamanian rebels in that were rebelling against
Move out!
Colombia, which at that time owned the region that is now Panama.
Ah.
Ready to move.
And basically broke...
Ooh, those railways
Move
look
out.
very important.
They are. They are.
You're gonna make use of them, aren't you?
Uh-huh. And basically, what we did was we
Move out.
broke it off forcibly from
Ready.
Colombia on the condition that they agreed to lease the canal zone to us.
Move out!
One of many dick moves we Americans have pulled off.
Orders.
This particular move brought to you by TR.
Ooh.
Listen up.
Because even though TR is and shall remain my favorite president, that does not mean he did not do his share of...
Evil things.
32 minus 24. Do you know that? Can you do that math?
32 minus 24 is 8.
Alright. Oh, yikes.
Oh, you misclick?
Yes.
Ready.
Well, you might want to undo whatever you misclicked.
Ready to move.
I just... Alright, let's see. There we go. Philadelphia, 11 militia out of Philadelphia.
Ready. Yes, sir.
Ah, my first actual pocket.
Ooh,
Actually, I got pocketed, so not
is
ooh.
what you meant to
Taking
say.
aim.
Oh dear. Gotta save your dudes!
I can, anyway.
Move out. Move out. Ready.
Let's hope you can, huh?
Indeed.
All in. Keep on moving. Listen up. All in.
looks like I can't save them.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately.
Well, I said can.
Oh,
Ready to move. Move out. Listen up. Ready, sir.
And once all of New England is occupied,
they'll send those guys to the front.
yes.
Attention.
Ah, they broke that. They broke out of that pocket.
Ah,
Fall in.
unfortunate. Or was it your guys who broke
Come
out?
on, move out.
No, it was theirs.
No!
Move back. Come on, move out. Fall in.
If I can do this right, I might be able to create another bigger pocket.
Ooh, big pocket!
Inauguration of the 10th Congress of the Third International. With all delegates in London, the 10th Congress of the International began with a speech by Comrade Eric Blair, also known as George Orwell.
Ah,
In the so-called Shield and Sword speech, he underlined the need for the Internationale to double the efforts towards forging the Damocles, a weapon capable of destroying the reactionaries across the world once and for all.
oh dear.
I think
That sounds,
we know
that
what
sounds nuke flavored.
you, my friend, are
Attention.
reading ahead.
Hey, not my fault, it's a nearly century old
Attention.
story.
Indeed.
Move out. Ready, sir.
And once I have New England fully occupied, like
Ready,
I
sir.
said, we shall mark the 10th International Congress. The 9th Congress of the Third International, held in Paris, dealt with spreading the ideology overseas, supporting socialist movements, and strengthening the ties between existing socialist nations. And thanks to the gathering's success, the 10th International Congress has been called to be held in London. Representatives from the entire world were greeted by a British artillery salute, a Scottish bagpipe chorus, and an overall warm reception. As Europe rolls closer and closer to war, military and economic cooperation between the socialists is expected to be the primary topic of discussion, and France and Britain will once again call the shots on the Internationale's policy.
Ready, sir. Listen up. Yes, sir. Move out. Under fire. Move out.
Good. Oh, that's a big plane. Oh wait, you were just zoomed in.
It is a big plane, which reminds me of something I have not yet done.
Airports?
Oh, I have planes in airports, I'm sure.
You just haven't done anything with them?
Yes.
And that would be awesome if it could handle both at the same time, Miss Edier. Then you could stream PC games.
Alright, I need these guys to be going for air superiority over here. However, I don't have nearly enough.
Gain it back.
Oh yeah, but I don't have nearly
Ready,
enough
sir.
air force at the moment.
I'm gonna start building.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen anytime soon.
Womp womp.
With the American question settled, Ernest Hemingway, the syndicate's delegate to the Congress, took the stage. He thanked those who supported the CSA's cause and called on the socialist world to constantly battle the reactionaries. The speech was received with great applause, especially by the French delegation. Yes, we can.
Ready to move. Taking cover. Ready, sir. Ready to move.
I'm not going to be able to just walk into Washington again.
Unfortunate, but not entirely unexpected.
Yeah. Ah, another pocket. This one I don't know if
Ready.
I'm going to be able to save.
Versus,
Move out.
ew,
Move out.
Nashville.
Orders. To fire. Ready. Come on, move out. Abort. All in. Ready to move. Move out. Ready, sir.
Slowly, this is being brought into line.
Attention. Taking aim.
He's taking aim.
Fall back. Attention. Ready. Attention. Ready to move. Yes, sir. Move out. Under fire. Come on, move out.
Last stand. Basically boosts their defense and makes them less willing to retreat. See if I can cut this rail.
All in.
Snip, snip.
Not easy.
Ready. Move out.
Second Continental Army. Now we want to go to early mobilization. And among other things, boost my division limit.
Huzzah.
Which I'm not particularly close to, but you really can't be too careful with that. So, I'll read this because I didn't last time. The revolution has begun. Zeal and enthusiasm are pouring forth as people line up to support our brave volunteers. Regular Chicagoans even say that we'll take Washington in a week and then the reactionaries will surely collapse. People are ready to get rid of the capitalistic government. Let's see, government here.
Through the bush.
Gun here. What more could a man need than a gun? Why, a better gun, of course. Massed infantry dominates our army, and we should ensure that they are as well armed as possible.
Listen up. Move out. Move out. Listen up. Move out. Move out.
Crisis on the Danube.
Oh no, a crisis on the Danube.
During the Austro-Hungarian Augsreich of 1937, the Austrians promised the autonomous states of their empire that the minorities in Transylvania would also receive autonomy. The Hungarians, however, were unwilling to oblige with the dismantlement of their state and privileges within the monarchy. In consequence, the Austrians have announced their intention to both humiliate Hungary and liberate the Slovaks, Transylvanians, and Ruthenes by force, and already skirmishes have begun along the Austro-Hungarian border.
Oh dear.
Only time will tell the fate of the former dual monarchy. The contradictions of imperialism are self-evident.
All in. Listen up. Move out. All in.
That is a tank.
Thanks for playing.
Yeah.
Orders. Move out. Ready to move. Yes, sir. Attention. Attention. Ready to move.
Attention, they want us to pay it.
Ready, sir.
British assistance arrives. Our British comrades have agreed to send us additional help. Transported from Mexico under constant air threat, a crack squadron of British fighter pilots has recently arrived in Chicago and awaits our orders.
Neat.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Yes, sir.
Indeed, it could be.
We definitely need planes. Apparently I have got air superiority back.
Nice. Ooh, it's raining. Or is that snow? No, that's rain. It's May, after all. Vive la commune!
With all important decisions made during the first week, the Congress has moved on to less pressing matters. After 10 days of negotiation, discussions, and politicking, the delegates came up with one final act, a declaration of eternal brotherhood and readiness to face the imperialists. wherever they can be found. Workers of the world, unite. Okay. I need you to get me air superiority over Appalachia. I have it over the East Coast. I'm not even going to bother trying to fight the Feddies
Yes, sir.
on the open sea.
Move out! Advance.
And the supply issues are getting up.
Supply issues.
Ready to move.
They're probably going to start hitting them hard over here, too,
Yes, sir.
because there's no way they can get supplies into Washington easily anymore.
Listen up.
I've cut their rail line.
Move out.
And Baltimore is about to fall. Those tanks can't last much longer. French assistance. Our French
Oh,
comrades
the Franks!
have agreed to send us additional help. Transported from Mexico under constant air threat, a trove of industrial equipment and advanced machine tools, as well as industrial advisors, have arrived in Chicago.
Attention. Yes, sir.
More soldiers?
Advance.
Why, thank you.
You do read my Christmas list.
Ready, sir.
Shove them up the enemy's nose.
Oh, I intend to. Violently.
It is what they deserve.
Time to get some Michigan boys into the fight.
Good old Michiganders.
Yes. If the front line stabilize for a bit, I'm going to have to start redeploying some. I'm going to have to start redistributing some manpower. But now is not the time to do such things.
Move out. Taking cover. Orders. All in.
Oh, look at these three divisions just sitting here, in between me and the longists. Talk about being in between a rock and a hard place.
Yes, sir. Ready.
They're basically
They
eventually.
would probably write stories about that unit.
Move out.
They probably would.
In the alternate timeline.
Yes.
Listen up.
I don't envy them because eventually it's basically going to come down to they just got to choose who are they going to surrender to.
Right?
Ready to move.
They're cut off from their friendlies after all. They can't go home.
Well, that happened.
Oh dear, what happened? Oh.
Canada supports the Pacific government, so they are going to support the PSA.
So, in other words, you have an entire other flank. You have to start...
Not yet,
Oh,
but
okay.
eventually, yes, probably. But I can use my political power to actually forestall that.
Cool.
The Canadian government, and through them the exiled British leaders and the entirety of the Entente, declared their support for the Pacific States of America as the true and only legitimate claimant to the mantle of American leadership. While stopping short of promising direct military intervention, they have offered to bolster Pacific forces with equipment and volunteers as well as an array of military advisors. Their statements stated solely that America was required to maintain world order and prevent the dissolution of one of the world's greatest powers into chaos. Well, things are heating up in China, too.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, let's take a look at the war. As you can see, the United States is not doing so hot. They are very close to capitulating.
Mm-hmm.
We have already lost 38,000 men on our side and 26,000 men on the United States side.
Mm-hmm.
This war has only been going on for 2 months.
Dang.
This is quickly
Advance.
going to become likely to become bloodier than the first. The sequel is likely to be bloodier than the original.
Unfortunate.
Fall in.
Well, the sequel always gets a bigger budget.
True.
Advance. Ready. Move out. Fall in.
The only reason that unit hasn't already been defeated,
Attention.
that Baltimore hasn't already fallen, is that those are tanks holding it.
Mm-hmm.
Listen up.
I get to drop a mountain on someone.
Oh, you do?
Yep, I do.
Zeus did that once.
That's just a very rude attack. Whether done by Zeus or by,
Bourgeoisie flee to
Who's
Canada.
Oh,
The bourgeoisie have decided that they will flee the CSA. Thousands have sought refuge within enemy territory, especially within the illegitimate Canadian government. The thieving scum have taken whatever their stolen wealth they could carry with them, and as they have escaped the revolution. The revolution will come for them in time. Oh, and it will.
Orders.
Unless things have
Move out.
changed drastically from the last time I have played this mod. Basically, once the Civil War concludes,
Fall in.
once it concludes,
Move out.
what?
basically once the Civil War concludes, Canada has no chance of resisting me if I invade them after I'm fully ready to do so.
Neat.
They will fold like
an omelet.
They will get folded like an omelet.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they do not attack me. As long as I am ready for them when it happens, they will not stand a chance. Their only chance is to attack me before I'm ready to receive them, and while I'm distracted on another front. Directive 764. Revolutionary Education Act.
Ooh, neat.
For those who are well educated, either formally or through bitter experience, revolutionary thought comes as easily as breathing. However, many of our comrade, whether in the Steel Belt or elsewhere in America, have been lied to their entire lives by the capitalist pig dogs. I added that for emphasis. And do not understand how the revolution frees them. Many do not give their heart and soul to the revolution, and some even attempt to sabotage our efforts,
No need to scream it.
unaware that we are the only force that truly cares for them. We must be reminded.
This one.
This must be remedied, and our comrades must be deprogrammed. Should we focus on reaching those in our territory, keeping our morale up, or should we spread our message throughout enemy territory and sap their will to fight? Their liberators. Focus on the socialist family. Oh, I need that political power. Focus on the reactionary enemy. The 1937 Dutch elections. The Netherlands has traditionally been one of the most politically stable nations in Europe, and the Dutch people have for years been entrenched in their own institutional pillars, which have tended to undermine radical tendencies. Due to the economic chaos caused by the Netherlands, close ties to Germany and Mitteleuropa, and the rise of the far-left Red Front and nationalist VNH, the country's political situation is more tense than it has been in many years. Despite the degeneration of domestic politics and the rise of the powerful left-list electoral bloc, the ruling CNA coalition was able to hold on to the recent elections, albeit with weak majorities. Unwilling to countenance a coalition with the Liberals or the right, the Conservative bloc has decided to govern alone. The Dutch do love their elections.
Orders. Listen up. Move out! Orders! Ready, shut! Attention! Commands! Move out! Commands! Ready, shut! Attention! Move out! Ready to move!
Moving out.
Commands! Ready to
Oh,
move!
we are moving.
Move out!
Who outmoved them?
Yes, sir.
Oh, look at all those out of supply units.
Oh, you're gonna do horrible, horrible things to them, aren't you?
Yeah. See, so for those watching at home, and how many do we have watching at home?
3.
Ah. How can you tell that? Oh,
Down there. See?
yes. Basically, this icon right here means that I have cut their supplies and they are slowly...
Running out of supplies.
Ready, sir.
And it's not a matter of if
Yes,
they
sir.
are forced to surrender. It is a matter of when, unless they can fix that supply situation, which they can't.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
Because he is a dingus.
Yes, sir.
Dingus McBingus!
Yeah, MacArthur is a dingus. Basically,
He is a fool!
yeah, he decided to defend everything and is therefore going to defend nothing.
Mhm.
All in. Ready.
Because this game does make you pick and choose that type of stuff.
Baltimore has fallen. Washington will soon follow.
So say you, the slayer of Dingus McBingus.
Speaking of which, syndicate militias have advanced towards and captured the symbolic capital of the United States, Washington, D.C. They stormed the Capitol building amidst strong resistance, but eventually they broke through, and the flag of the combined syndicates of America now flies over the U.S. Capitol. Rumors are that syndicate militias have been rounding up all political representatives they can find in the city to give them trial. Although unconfirmed sources claim that most important government figures have been evacuated during the battle, with their current whereabouts unknown. The central government has been thrown off its golden throne. Washington has fallen.
Listen up. Ready, sir. Listen up. Move out.
And let's see here. Ooh, that took a big bite out of the Fetties.
Ooh, how big of a bite?
Well,
You have a way to find out? Oh!
I'm pretty sure if they lose just one more major city, they might cap. They might capitulate if they lose just one more major city. If they if they lose Denver, they're done. And look, the longest are
very close to Denver.
yeah. Denver falls, it's over.
For them, at least.
Yeah, for the Fetties.
Yes, sir.
They do not have the ability to,
Orders.
Hold shit.
Move out.
because they're too spread out. I will eventually,
Yes.
my co-host here permitting,
Move out.
do a Fetty game on this here channel.
Orders.
Uh,
Ready to move.
I will not be this dumb.
Move out.
Yeah, you'll pick and choose.
The right choice. So,
Commands.
for those who weren't here last time, I explained this last time, but plenty of you weren't here for that.
Exactly one of them weren't here for it.
When the Civil War is about to start, MacArthur is given a choice. He has three options. He can try to defend everything, which is what this MacArthur did.
Which is foolish because then your defenses are too thin.
Yes. You can try to fall back.
Defend everything!
You can try to fall back west of the Mississippi River and abandon the capital, and abandon Washington.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a terrible idea for three reasons. For two big reasons. Possibly three. Reason number one, actually yes, for three reasons it's a terrible idea. Number one, it basically gives Reed and Long a free pass to attack and puts your forces very far away from the heart of the Longists and the Reds. Two, you're basically hoping that Reed and Long will tear each other's guts out and weaken each other if you do that.
Right?
Two,
And that's just not a guarantee.
the areas west of the Mississippi have far less manpower than the areas east of it do. Because just more people live east of the Mississippi than west. I think like 80% of the U.S. population lives east of the Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Three, if you fall back to the west of the Mississippi, you have to worry not just about the Reds and the Longists, you have to worry about the Pacific states too.
Oh yeah.
You have to fight all three of them. Now the only
And you are not Oda Nobunaga. You cannot fight everybody!
the only viable strat that you would even have is hold off Reed and Long. Hope they weaken each other enough that you can sweep in, and focus all of your efforts on crushing the Pacific states. This is a bad strategy because Reed and Long are very strong, and you do not want them to get any that much stronger. And if you're playing as the Fetties specifically, you can get the Pacific states to stand down and rejoin diplomatically under certain conditions. You do not have to conquer them as the Fetties. You do as the Reds, or the Longists. And even sometimes not even as the Reds. If a specific party is in power in the Pacific states, they will actually agree to join you if you're the CSA. They will never agree to join the Longists, though.
Under fire.
Okay.
Listen up. All in. Move out.
Basically, in this timeline, MacArthur, is called the American...
Arthur of Nix.
Is named the American Caesar because he led a coup against the democratically elected president. This gentleman, John Jack Reed. In fact, until July the 3rd, I have a modifier, the rightful president, because I won the election. Ousted me out of the White House, and is running basically a military junta. And at the end of the war, you are given a choice: a Cincinnatus or Caesar. Is MacArthur going to give up his power or try and hold on to it? If you go Caesar and say MacArthur isn't giving up his power, the Pacific States will never join you. If you have MacArthur step down, they will.
Listen up. Move out. Ready, sir.
Remember, their whole thing is they consider themselves the last true defenders of democracy. So as long as MacArthur is in charge, they basically are like, you're just as bad as Reed and Long.
Move out. Keep your distance.
But don't look like you're trying to keep your distance.
White sun over China. It has been months since the League of 8 Provinces collapsed. And the Kuomintang seized control over eastern China. With chaos ongoing in the fractured nation, reliable news has been harder to obtain than ever before. Despite the censorship implemented by the warlords and the Qing government, a young journalist made his way with cleverness and courage through the war-torn lands of the former League to the south, to the mountains of the Fujian base area of the Kuomintang. Edgar Snow, who came to Shanghai in 1928 from the U.S., works for an English newspaper in the city. His bravery to cross the front lines and open sympathy to the cause of the KMT has opened his way to interview the leadership of the uprising. Today is hastily printed book, White Sun Over China, hit the stores and found great interest with Western readership. Besides talking with his interview partners, he paints a vivid picture of life in the KMT-controlled parts of China. Different from warlord rule, but not without strife. His stories, while attracting criticism for romanticizing Chinese revolutionaries, still evoke sympathy for the KMT struggle all over the world, especially in leftist circles. Quite an adventure. Ah, the Michiganders are ready.
Yay, the Michiganders!
Taking cover. Ready. Listen up. All in. Attention.
Can I get us more drinky?
Sure.
Right.
Keep your distance.
Play casual. Still got a little left in here. Finish it. Huh?
I have supply shortages.
Womp womp.
Let's see if I can't get that sorted.
Yes, sir. Ready, sir. Ready. Attention. Move out. Come on, move out! Listen up!
The rising sun. The situation in Japan has been ever critical since the Tsingtao Accord. Muddled by numerous economic crises and unrest, their ineffective response to the German interventions in China led to the collapse of the autocratic Tanaka regime. However, the empire of the rising sun managed to bounce back as a regional power limited to the reaches of East Asia. Today, Japanese leadership has announced a new plan to seize their spot amongst the great powers by force if deemed necessary. The news has already begun to reach Berlin, with the Kaiser and the Chancellery having yet to respond to this barefaced threat over their colonial holdings.
All in! Move out! Move out! Ready! Move out! Ready, sir! Fall back! Ready! Move out! Ready!
More pockets.
Commands! Move out! Listen up! Under fire! Move out! Attention! Commands! Move out! Attention! Taking cover! Ready, sir! Listen up! Move out! Yes, sir!
Soda!
Oh, he actually got.
Attention!
Soda!
Move out!
Another pocket with 3 units in it.
Neat. 3 units, quarter pocket.
Indeed. One. A naval engineering facility.
Neat.
A research facility
All
wouldn't
in.
have scientists assigned.
Oh, here. That means there's no research being done in that research facility.
All in! Ready, sir!
Need to definitely get this pocket sorted because they're sitting athwart one of my rail lines, which is causing me supply issues.
Move out! Keep your distance!
I'm not supposed to have those. I'm supposed to give those to the enemy. The 37th Siamese Burmese War.
That's a lot of wars.
Mm-hmm. The new national populist regime of Pies blah 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 in Siam has issued a declaration of war to the Burmese government in Yangon today, citing Burmese agitation in the movement as an act of war. The Siamese themselves are clearly the aggressor here, as they had previously occupied lands up to the Salween River, violating the Stresemann Treaty dictating the border between them and Burma back in 1929. For the Burmese, the situations look pretty bleak. Should Siam emerge victorious, it is likely that this will mark the rise of a new Thai hegemony in Southeast Asia. One European powers will have to be cautious of. A war more for hate's sake than true advantage.
Ready, sir. Orders.
Right.
Move out.
We are...
Move out. Ready, sir.
Alright. Down with the Caesar. Icelandic independence.
Oh, neat.
The small Atlantic island of Iceland has long been ruled by the kings of Denmark, coming under their control over 400 years ago. The recent events put this state of affairs at risk. With Black Monday and the Danish government struggles to respond to the crisis, calls for complete independence continue to grow louder and louder until the government was forced to hold an independence referendum to determine the island's future. Now that the results are in, it seems that the pro-independence party has won, making Iceland Europe's newest republic. Though many may celebrate this day, others worry that the nation's newfound independence may be swept away by Britain or Canada, both of which eye it greedily. Whatever the case, the Atlantic has a new player. How may this affect the Atlantic?
That guy's on a horse.
Yeah, we still do have some cavalry around. Like it's freaking knight in shining armor days.
Right?
Ready, sir.
I forget, when was the
Yes, sir.
most recent successful cavalry charge
All
in
in.
real history?
I'm pretty sure it was actually in World War II.
Dang.
Move out.
You get into there's either World War II or World War I. You get into furious historical arguments over when the last effective cavalry charge actually was.
All in.
That's why historians hate making statements of first or last, because someone always is standing there ready with an example that happened before or after your supposed first or last example.
Right.
So historians hate making absolute statements like that.
Ready, sir.
Like there was at least one case where
Ready, sir.
during the Napoleonic Wars,
Move out.
a fleet was captured by a cavalry charge.
Because the hecking water was frozen and the fleet couldn't
Yes,
move.
sir.
If I
Yes,
recall correctly.
yes, they literally charged across the harbor
Listen up.
Because the harbor was ice at that point.
because the harbor was frozen today.
All in.
Harbor was frozen today!
All in. Ready, sir.
Those would be some very surprised sailors if you ask me.
Oh yeah.
All
So we
in.
have a cavalry charge coming in from the
Move
sea. Wait, but it's the sea.
All in.
Poseidon? No, sir. It's just frozen today.
By the way, you're the one who has a computer that isn't currently, well, you are playing a game, but that isn't being used for stream. You also have a phone. You could look up when the last effective cavalry charge was.
All in.
To enlighten our viewers.
Orders. Orders. Keep on attacking. Move out! Attention!
That looks like it could turn into a... Oh wait, it's already a very big pocket.
Yes, it is. There's a chance they will break out of it, though.
Commands!
Internal conflict reflects. At the offset of the revolution, John Reed placed the IWW, also known as the International Workers of the World, nicknamed the Wobblies, yes, really,
Wow.
as the model and future successor to Congress. The AFL, which translates as American Federation of Labor, which had seen a decline in membership before 1935, was revitalized by Reed's endorsement. Now the AFL, as a part of the coalition fighting the socialist revolution, has begun to exercise their ideological autonomy. They have chosen to occupy the entire left side of the IWW, begun to pull in allies. Their debates at the IWW can sometimes set into street brawls. Leak out into street brawls, and in two cases, friendly fire. Vanguards, only the actual communists, by the way, are vanguards, owing only their allegiance to the revolution, have tried to foster cooperation. Now Reed must decide whether it is more dangerous to continue his support for the IWW than when compromise is in sight. Side with the IWW, the Vanguard compromise. Oh no, we're going to side with the IWW. We do not want the totalists anywhere near important important positions.
Move out! Commands!
Because they're scary.
Commands!
They're scary.
Hey,
Attention!
why don't you come out and fight me?
No! Because you're scary!
Commands! Ready to move. Listen up!
Ah, history oversimplified.
Listen up!
Indeed.
All in. Orders!
Silly history. This guy over here is preferred way of consuming history content.
Mm-hmm.
Listen up!
The only correct way.
Ready!
Straight line?
Yes, sir.
New.
Oh, that was also an oversimplified, remember?
No, I don't.
When they're doing the pig war,
Move
they're
out.
talking about the borders of the U.S. Straight line?
Straight line.
Ready! Move out!
Yeah, a war was fought over a pig.
Or almost fought over a pig.
Ready!
Imagine almost going to war over a pig.
All in.
Oink.
Oink indeed. Oink indeed.
Listen up! Move out! Yes, sir. Orders!
Uh-huh.
I need to research some more things.
Research.
Smart people. Go out and do smart people things.
They're researching.
Ready to move.
4th of July.
Ooh.
Since the start of hostilities this year, many Americans held on to the false hope that the violence would settle down quickly and the politicians would find a solution without war. However, the 30-day deadline came and went, and America has found itself at war. Keep in mind, the war only started in April. It is the 5th of July.
Wow.
While President Reed had hoped to make his address near Independence Hall in Philadelphia, his staff dissuaded him from the plan. Instead, Reed is elected to speak before assembled leaders at a local union chapter. Despite the relatively humble setting, the crowd watched with rapt attention. He noted that back in the day, Americans had found themselves chafing under greed and neglect, and on this day they had formally organized for freedom from their chains. Noting that the first declaration had 27 points of grievances against the British. To roaring applause, Reed pulled out a list of 27 grievances the modern worker had and declared that the CSA would continue to fight on for a new America, so that all men are created equal.
Somehow that lost political power,
I know, right? Seems like it should have done the opposite.
right?
I mean, we got Reed doing an oorah speech.
And saying so that all men are created equal. You know, something Americans are supposed to be all for. That should honestly
Keep
have
moving.
people on the other side being like, wait, what?
Advance. Yes, sir. Move out.
$72,000 men dead on my side.
98 on theirs. Oh wait, does that include ours?
Listen up.
No,
Ready to move.
ours is 72.
Move out.
They have lost 98.
We gotta be quieter according to Mom. Because Dad's going to
Keep your
bed.
distance.
Let's see. I do love how you gotta hand it to the Fennies just how doggedly
Come on, move out.
they're holding on. And look at what they're up against at this point.
Right?
They've basically been split into 3 different pockets.
More than 3. There's also the big old pocket to the west.
Yeah.
And the itty bitty pocket also to the west.
Yeah, I'm not even bothering to try and fight the Federal Navy. They just have more ships than I do. I would get my Navy sunk. As the revolutionary struggle continues, a number of women have joined the armed struggle in accordance with the socialist ideals of gender equality. While not all are accepted by their male comrades, it has not deterred many from fighting and dying for the revolution. Manuals have been distributed to recruiters on how to effectively organize women detachments, of which the militias can teach the military a thing or two. Rebel girl, you are the queen of my world, which is from a song, I presume.
And you suddenly got a fuck ton more manpower.
Yes,
Woman power, specifically.
yes, because we're recruiting women.
Ready. Orders. Orders.
This event, I much like how they improved it.
It used to be worse then.
It used to be an actual revolt that would happen behind your lines.
Ah, gotcha.
Like, units would pop up behind your lines and you'd have to divert men from the front to go deal with it. Support for the federal government remains strong, even in the syndicalist heartland of Pennsylvania. And this has finally been proven as bands of loyalist militia, reportedly organized in the city of Philadelphia, rose up in the hills in the central part of the state, claiming the region once more for federal control. Whether they will achieve that goal and open up a new front in the Civil War remains to be seen.
What?
And now over my unit.
Unit camp?
Yes. Because I lost core territory
Yes, sir.
because of that event.
Dang.
Move out!
Oh, better get that core territory
All in.
back.
Indeed. Should be able to pull that.
Yes, sir. Attention.
Means my units are going to fight less effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Command. Ready to move. Yes, sir. Move out! Move out! Move out!
It also started
Ready, sir.
skirmishing in several places with the longists now.
Yes, sir. All in. Taking aim. All in. Move out. Commands. Ready to move. Ready to move. Yes, sir. Attention.
Raleigh has fallen.
Move out. Move out.
And with it, another rail line cut.
Orders. Move out. Ready to move.
Ooh, open.
Yep. And the naval base therein.
Attention. Ready, sir. Yes, sir.
Italian Civil War resumes.
Ooh.
Ever since the armistice that ended the Italian Civil War 20 years ago, Italy has been in an uneasy state of peace. However, after Black Monday and the withdrawal of Austrian troops from the Italian peninsula, few believed the peace would last much longer. After rising tensions across the world, the Socialist Republic of Italy has taken the initiative to declare war on the opposing Italian regime, denouncing them as an artificial state propped up by imperialist powers and vowing to fulfill the unification of Italy. Volunteers and supplies have begun to flood in from the world's major power blocks, hoping to secure the Italian peninsula and their sphere of influence, as the country's dark civil war has ignited once again. Will Italy ever find peace? No, Italians!
Yes, sir.
Those Italians.
Getting them killed in the war. That would be one way to lose Italians.
Orders.
That would, in fact, be one way to lose Italians.
Ready to move. Move out.
I want this pocket closed. Thank you very much.
Listen up. Yes, sir. Under fire.
hand. CIC Smedley Butler. Former Marine Corps General Smedley Butler has stepped up to lead our armies as Commander-in-Chief. We wish him luck, and eagerly looking to his experience and ideas in the fields of doctrine and war material.
All in. Ready. Ready. Listen up. Commands. Move out.
Very close to capping.
Neat.
Need them to tap out of this.
By capping, I
Orders.
presume you mean capitulating.
Indeed. And Directive 1231. Establish the CIA. It is an unfortunate fact that there are spies and saboteurs within our territory, working to prevent our glorious liberation of the proletarian masses. Of the
He
many,
creamed when he said glorious, by the way.
of the many proposals submitted to the Central Committee, one stands out. Earl Browder's proposal is to create a committee to enforce revolutionary order and stop counter-revolutionary sabotage. However, others within the Central Committee, including Chairman Reed, wonder if this is a necessary step and if we would be betraying our deals. Regardless, a vote was taken. What was decided? The CIA will be created. The CIA will not be created. It is not necessary for now. I will not be creating the CIA today, thank you.
Attention. All in. Yes, sir. Orders. Ready, sir. Move out. Listen up. Ready, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
Norfolk has fallen.
Move out. Yes, sir. Move out.
Longest rebels rise in Kentucky. Huey Long always held strong support in the heartland, with states like Kentucky and Indiana only barely swinging elsewhere in the 1936 election. Now longest supporters have risen up in Kentucky and the surrounding region, taking up arms gained through the underground to band together and open a new front in the Civil War.
Oh dear. Who would have thought Foghorn Leghorn had troops in Kentucky,
And Indiana.
right? But nah, dude actually sounded like hecking Foghorn Leghorn.
He did.
Attention.
I say.
Orders. Attention. Yes, sir. Advance! Orders! Yes, sir. Command.
War economy.
War economy.
All in.
Heh, Ohio.
Indeed.
It's where we'll take the POWs.
Not to Detroit?
Nah. Detroit's last year's punching bag.
Listen up. Attention. Attention. Order. All in. All in.
Dang, time's just zooming by. Oh, another Italian Civil War. How many of those have there been historically? Like, IRL.
How much?
How many?
Plenty, I believe.
Attention.
Actually, not that many. Mostly because Italy wasn't a unified country until very relatively recently politically.
Ah, gotcha.
Orders. Ready, sir. Ready, sir.
Yeah. Italy wasn't a unified country until the 1870s.
Ah, yeah. That is very recent.
Orders. Move out. Move out.
Before that, you're talking about Italian states or city-states.
Ah, yeah. Like Roma.
Dutch volunteers have arrived to help the syndicalist cause. They are not very well trained, however, and their division is rather small, so we may need to invest in them in order to make them a significant fighting force, or just throw them at the enemy, which will probably result in high casualties.
We need all the help we can get!
War is hell. Civil War even more so. The psychological strain caused by having to repeatedly kill, even if the enemy are capitalists, has caused some of our soldiers and commanders to become sadistic beyond what some consider to be acceptable. Although not commonplace, reports of systematic mass executions and torture are being reported from both the front lines and core territories to suppress populations suspected of aiding the capitalist factor. Reed has made an executive decision to suppress these reports from the free media. If the revolution were to fail because of a few bad apples, says Reed, and humanity would collectively suffer for centuries longer. 'Tis the final conflict, after all.
I somehow get the feeling it's not the final one.
Yeah, that's a bit of, communist
shenanigans that they think that after that all that stuff would happen, there would just never be conflict again.
syndicalist uprising in the West. Well, let me explain, and I will in a
Fall
moment.
in.
Once I read this. Fighting along the West Coast between syndicalist sympathizers and security forces has been severe in recent weeks, but dropped off within the last weeks, leading to hopes that the unions out west had finally given up hope of success. These hopes were dashed as a new uprising was revealed. With a number of militias organized by powerful Teamster and longshoreman unions in Washington and Oregon states and armed through underground efforts, this opens up a new front in this civil war, should the rebels find a way to break out of the mountains.
Oh,
Hurrah! It's basically saying the old socialist belief that
Commands. Commands.
when the revolution happens, it'll be the end of all conflict.
Ready to move.
Yeah,
Move out.
I doubt that would be true, even if
Ready to
things
move.
did happen the way they want them to. It just takes enough like-minded people in the wrong places for some group to rise up and start
Yes,
trouble,
sir.
even if it's a
Ready.
hecking socialist utopia or communist utopia or whichever they would end up deciding on in that alternate timeline.
Basically, what they believe is that
And congratulations, then you'd have another conflict.
basically what they believe is that all conflict is between oppressors and oppressed, and when the revolution happens for the first time, it'll be the majority of the population overthrowing the minority and instituting the rule of the majority, and that the Entente just lost India.
Whatever that is.
Well, the oldest cities in the world, the ancient city of Delhi, has been conquered, ransacked, and rebuilt many times. The earliest architectural relics date back to 300 BCE, a testament to Delhi's ancient history and the city's resilience. However, the city of Delhi has fallen to enemy forces, and the ancient city buildings are once again at risk of being destroyed. Once again, since the bloody siege of 1857, the city of Delhi was placed under attack with the Bharatiya defenders, breaking an impressive offensive made by British Indian forces. Reports from the city have indicated the British Indian Army has begun, herding Bharatiya prisoners and survivors into the Baranakita, an ancient fortress now serving as an internment camp. Never mind. The Entente is winning.
You misread then.
Today, unfortunate information was received from the Minnesota home of former governor and farmer labor champion Floyd Olson, who, if I'd formed the coalition party, would have run for president under the combined coalition party ticket. The Olson household revealed that he had died from stomach cancer that had recurred. Olson had spent the last summer campaigning for senator of Minnesota and successfully won the seat. Upon the outbreak of the Civil War, multiple governments had courted his favor as his farmer labor party grew significantly divided. However, the increasingly ailing senator withdrew to his home without expressly picking a side. Although his cancer had initially gone into remission, it appears that it has re-emerged much to the shock of Olson and his loved ones. Before he died, the senator
Apparently we're too loud.
released a statement apologizing for not being there for his state and country during such turbulent times. President John Silas Jack Reed has expressed condolences for Olson's family and has asked for a day of mourning across syndicalist-controlled territories for the idealistic progressives, including flags floated at half-mast. The heavily contested state of Minnesota itself
Wrap it up, by the way.
ongoing forces have declared a brief ceasefire with support of the socialist government. As Minnesota mourns,
Because you're too loud.
no one will live up to his reputation anytime soon. His soul goes marching on.
Can you save now? And
No. I'm gonna save when the federal government falls because that shouldn't be
okay,
long.
no more reading of who's it's though.
Gotta read the...
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. For when the federal government surrenders? Yeah, I do.
Okay, then save now, and you'll read it next time.
Commands.
I want to keep playing.
My mom says no. She's apparently peeved at how loud we're being. So,
Ready to move.
either you end it now, or I take
Ready to
control
move.
via plugging in a new keyboard and end the stream myself.
Alright.
Orders.
Sorry, I'd like to go longer, but...
Yes, sir. Orders. Ready to move. Ready. Commands. Ready. Orders. Ready, sir. Ready. Commands. Ready, sir. Ready. Orders.
Cool.
Once these pockets fall on saving and quitting, depending whether the federal government also quits or not.
Commands.
Because at that point, there's nothing I
Move
can
out.
do to make the federal government fall. It's
Ready.
just be waiting for Denver to fall. And I have no way to directly have any input on that.
saying. Just you can just not say it and read it in your head. I can't even understand you at this point.
They've actually started a nice little push over here. I'm impressed.
Commands?
Might have to do something about that at a later date, but I'm getting pushed back in Missouri as well. But anyway, be that as it may, here is how the front lines stand as of right now.
Okay.
The Federals are actually pushing in Texas. They're getting pushed back by the PSA. They've actually pushed the longest away from Denver. Actually impressive.
204K, 109K.
Yeah, I know. Bloodbath. Can you say bloodbath?
The Pacific States of America somehow haven't lost anything.
Because it's only their fight with me.
Ah, gotcha.
Keep in mind, this is only their casualties fighting me. I have no idea how many men they've lost fighting each other.
Gotcha.
But the USA is basically a stiff breeze will make them capitulate, but I am unlikely to be the one to deliver that stiff breeze, because any territory that's worth anything that I could capture of theirs is far away from my front lines. If I was the one who took Denver, I might actually fall out this chair.
Wow. That is a good way to put it.
And it doesn't look like there are any... Unless I pushed into South Dakota, which I might do next time, but that would take time, and time is something I do not have at the moment.
Alright, well, save the game.
I'm about to. I'm wrapping up. We started the fight with who's going to be our real rivals, the longists, and we're going to see if we can't push them back. Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Well, you need to give me the thing so I can actually get to the right screen for us to do that.
But anyway, let us not save over.
The last thing. Anyway, gimme.
Yes, will do. And that is
Here, gimme.
going to be that.
Alright.
Join us next time for more exciting revolutionary action.
Alright, thank you, Masedier and Kurgan, for stopping by. Thank you, Andrew, for fighting for the proletariat. And if you're watching this after the fact and you've made it all the way to this point, thanks for watching the whole heckin' VOD. Anyway, this is Cherry Cookie signing off. Farewell! Lep.